When the Soviet occupation of Eastern Europe ended 30 years ago, most nations chose the path of democracy and asked to join NATO to secure them. The Kremlin has promoted false narratives about this history, claiming that NATO agreed to a post-Cold War ban on extending membership to these nations.
And I've reiterated many times that you're well aware, not an inch eastwards. This is what we were promised. Not an inch eastwards. In the 1990s, we were told, well, basically they swindled us. They lied to us. 5 waves of further expansion to the east. This is what NATO engaged in.
While security issues may have been discussed, no agreement about a ban on new NATO members was ever considered. This has been confirmed by former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, who said that the topic of NATO expansion was never discussed at all. In response to Putin's claims, former Yeltsin-era Foreign Minister Andrei Kozyrov told a Moscow radio station that neither NATO or Europe pose a threat to Russia. Russian state media platforms RT and Sputnik promote Putin's anti-NATO and anti-Western narratives, which are then published online and broadcast on YouTube and Western cable networks. They're amplified by bots and far-left and far-right proxies on social media and regurgitated by platforms aligned with the Kremlin. Commentators aligned with the Kremlin and other authoritarian regimes help legitimize these narratives. When they seep into mainstream media, they threaten to erode public support and trust for NATO and sow doubts about its objectives. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, most of the nations once occupied by the Soviets chose democracy and freedom over authoritarianism, corruption, and repression. They asked for membership in NATO, and the security and stability that the transatlantic alliance has provided them has allowed them to develop into strong and resilient democracies. Neither the Kremlin or Vladimir Putin has ever had any veto over their security or future.